Welcome once again to our weekly show with Chuck Clark, talking about Bear basketball here on the Bear Network. Coach Clark, I'd like to welcome you to this week's program. We had, since last week, we had, 3 games played, all 3 home games. We got 3 big wins, and things are looking good. You're getting ready for a big district game tonight. But last week, you had a tough game with Ownbey there the first night.
Tough one. It was, we got up big, and then we kind of relaxed. And I think we talked about it on the radio that we kind of lost perspective of what we were doing. And next thing you know, they go on a 12-0 run and make it a game. And it's a game that, that lasted all the way through the fourth quarter. So.
Well, it didn't seem like it was ever in danger of losing once you got the big lead, but it wasn't a comfortable lead at that point because they were coming back. And Coach Jay Williams, he's a veteran coach. He's not going to let his guys just roll over and play dead for you.
No, and they've got a couple of guys that can shoot the 3-ball really well.
Yes.
And so that always puts a little fear into any coach because if 1 or 2 guys get hot, then they can change the momentum and flow of the game really fast.
Well, you had to win over Ownbey that Tuesday, Sauter Daisy Friday, and then we had Marion County Saturday. And Marion County obviously was a game that we scheduled just to fill out the schedule. It wasn't something that we necessarily wanted to do, but anyway, got scheduled, we got played, and had an opportunity. You jumped out to a huge lead, and you got a chance to play a lot of guys and give them a lot of minutes. Yeah,
and I will say it for Marion County, they had a hot water heater or something bust in the gym, and it flooded the gym, and they lost their court. And so they really did not have a whole lot of opportunity to get a lot of practicing in. I guess going to some of the middle schools that they have around through there and borrowing different courts. And so, they were hit hard with it, and it shows right now in their team. And Coach Phillips is a good guy, and he'll have those guys back on their feet before long anyway.
Well, it did give you a great opportunity to play a lot of guys, and you had, I think, we were talking, your varsity starters only played just a very few minutes in the first quarter, and then you had guys who don't normally get to hit the court, that have not even dressed with the varsity in some cases, got to play a lot of minutes Saturday afternoon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had starters out, and I think the clock said 4 minutes and 45 seconds on it, and we'd already gotten scored 20 some odd points. And, you get, as a coach, you get a flow for the game, and it could have been really, it wasn't been the right way about going about things. So we planned for it ahead, and we had some other players available. And so really the first 7 or 8 players that we have, they didn't get on the court, but, at the most 5-6 minutes. And then we let some of the younger kids play, get some experience on being what it's like to be under the lights when they toss it up. And so it's different when there's a little bit more people in the crowds than what they normally play against.
That's what I was going to say. You've got a big crowd there watching the game. It is a varsity game. And what sometimes we lose perspective about is that those kids who are younger, freshmen, sophomores, inexperienced, maybe not as physically as big and strong as some of the varsity guys who have been playing for 3 or 4 years, they work just as hard in practice. They're trying to get their skill levels up, and they've won the right and deserve the right to play as much as you can do it.
That's exactly right. I mean, we turn around, if not for the JV guys, they are who make us better. Day in, day out, they're out there busting their tails, and they get their games in JV ball, but still, it gives them a chance to shine a little bit. And so I was glad to get a few of them out there that normally are not out there.
Well, and you need them because next year, year after, those are guys going to be stepping up in starting roles that you're going to really rely on as a head coach with your staff there. And we've played the first round of the district. Half of our district games are complete, 6 out of 12. 5 of those 6 were on our nice, friendly home floor. The next 5 are going to be on hostile and enemy territory, so to speak. We got some tough challenges coming up, and one of those will be tonight when we go to East Hamilton, who we all know is well coached down there by the new coach, friend of yours, Andy Webb, came from Cincinnati, Johnson City, Science Hill, and has been there. And he's having to find his own rhythm and his own process of doing things, but he's doing a good job there, and you're going to have your hands full tonight.
The first game that we played, it was early in the year, and both teams were not we weren't in sync like we are now.
Right.
I mean, we're more game ready.
He wasn't either.
and he's a lot more game ready. Well, I just watched video of him the other night against Walker Valley, and they do a whole lot of things. They move a lot quicker. They move with a whole lot more confidence in what they're doing, and so you can tell that he's got them ready for game time.
Well, we're going to find out tonight because it is a big district game. As they always say, you got to win all your district games at home if you can, and take care of business on the road as much as you can and to have a shot at winning it. So you're sitting right now in second place with only one loss in the district. Of course, Cleveland's still ranked #1 in the state, and they're at the top of the district unbeaten and overall unbeaten. But Bears, I think you're 12-4 or
12, I guess 12-4 maybe.
I think they're 12-4.
I know we've lost 4 games, and so.
Yep, I think we have 12 wins there, and we've won 5 in a row. Been playing really good ball. Been playing team ball. I think that's the key to any team being successful, especially at the high school level, playing team ball. You got a lot of guys stepping up. You look at Quante Berry and Mason Rothwell and Trey Curry. There's 3 guys right there that on any given night can give you 20 points apiece at any game. Plus, you got all the support around them that can throw in some points for you too.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Out of the 16 games, we've probably had, well, except for Bearden, we've had at least 3 double-figure scores, and then most of the time we've had 4. And so when
couldn't ask for more than that, could you?
No, and that 4th person is always different. One night at Sailor, the other night it was Tucker, and then Ashton had it one night, and Isaac had double figures one night. Yeah. So
Carter Howard
came in and provided a boost there down in Georgia with a double figure evening. So it's, you throw them out there and you don't know which one of these young guys is going to actually produce. And I say young, they are young. Right. We got a lot of sophomore and juniors providing Sailor and Ashton and Dakota. But the rest of these guys are getting more and more game experience, and so they're getting a little more confidence going in.
Well, unusually for us, I asked Coach Ruta this earlier too, we don't have any District 6 teams on our schedule. Sometimes we play Ray County in the past. We play Stone Memorial almost every year. Back when Cumberland was in AAA, we'd play them usually year in, year out, home and away. But this year we don't have any of those games for us scheduled in the regular season. Now, we're going to see them in the regional for sure. But over there, I know you don't have time to keep up with a lot of things, but do you have a feel for who's a strong team in contention over there for their district and therefore into the region?
Well, you got White County for sure. They've got the Slatton kid that's coming back, and he's being recruited by a number of schools in and around Middle Tennessee, and into Kentucky too. I think is last time I talked to his dad. So they're probably number 1 if I had to guess.
And it's home floor for them here in the region.
That's what makes them number 1, because when they play the district, they're going to be at home, region home. So, and then Stone, probably number 2. Now, if you talk to Mitchell, that's White County coach. He says that Stone has had his number, that he can't beat them, and he hasn't been able to in the last 4 games or 5 games, and so. He's a little worried, and he would say that Stone's number 1. So, they're probably, just guessing and looking at scores, they're 1 and 2, or 1A and 2B, or 1B.
So it's a toss-up there, and of course we've got a lot of games to play. We're basically halfway through our season. Played 16 games, I guess, whatever, 12-4. About halfway through the season, we've got all the district games, the second round to play, and then we only have 1 non-district game left. I guess that would be with Meigs County, or 2. We go there Thursday, and then they come here February the 1st or 2nd, I guess, which would be senior night for us. But stepping outside the district, Meigs County, I don't know much about them at all. I know their head coach for the boys' side's been there a long, long time, and I know your former assistant coach, or a former assistant coach, Ruder. That's where he cut his coaching teeth over there with them.
Yeah, he started out with Sammy on the boys' side.
And he's still there, isn't he, Sammy?
He's still there. So Sammy Perkinson's been there for, I guess, 30 years now. Because actually when Kent first came along, and we went over there, and we got beat. I remember that, and Coach Smith was not real happy about it. But we went over there with Josh Hare and that crew. I think they were juniors maybe, and that would have been the second year, maybe the first year. And Josh and the sophomores. But we went over there, and they had a couple of big guys that were in the paint, and one of them went on to sign at Tennessee. The other one played football someplace, another mid-major school, and they were brutal. Mm-hmm. And so, we haven't been over there a lot, but I do remember that game, and Coach Perkinson will have them ready to go for us. They're down as far as the boys. Now the girls are really tough, but it'll be interesting.
Well, and I enjoy going to places we don't get to go to very often. We're actually going to get to broadcast on the radio game Friday night from over there too, so we'll have that doubleheader for our fans and listeners of the Bear Nation. But it's going to be a quick wrap-up of the season. We're here January the 21st, I guess it is today, and with about 3-4 more weeks of regular season play, and we get into what we call the third of the season, before Christmas, then the second. We come back after Christmas up to the postseason, and that's sort of the third part of the season, which is how it always shakes out. And that's when you really have to be playing your best ball.
Yeah. Well, you know as well as I do, Meigs County has kind of been a rival for Bradley back early in the years, and when they had some of the Campbell guys over there, and but they were a thorn in our flesh sometimes, and I know when Dad was at Chattanooga Central, they really were for him then, and because he told me stories about how Meigs, and they were really tough then. So, but yeah, it's going to be fun, and we're getting into that end of the second part of the season and just preparing. Right now is when you're trying to get things rolling for the third part of the season, which is tournaments, and so you want to go in with some momentum, and you want to be hitting on all cylinders.
Well, right now we're playing pretty good ball, pretty solid ball, good team ball. You've got to have these success in our district. Coach, we want to thank you again for being here on the Coaches Show, as always. It's always a treat. We'll do this again next week and talk about things that have happened since then and look forward to what's happening the next week. So, again, thank you, Coach Chuck Clark, Bradley Central Bears. I've been your host, Gary Ownbey. For now, we'll say so long for now. God bless, and go Bears.